The Andromedan vessel gleamed like a shard of midnight, its crystalline surface refracting starlight in impossible patterns. Ambassador Zara stood at the viewing window of Earth's diplomatic station, her heart racing as she watched the alien ship approach. After centuries of searching the stars, humanity had finally made contact with an advanced civilization. "They're ready to receive you, Ambassador," said Lieutenant Richards, his voice tight with tension. "The translation matrices are online and stable." Zara smoothed down her formal diplomatic uniform, its deep blue fabric a stark contrast to her brown skin. "Any final intelligence on their social protocols?" "Nothing beyond what we gathered from initial communications. They're a crystalline species, Ambassador. Their concept of social interaction might be completely alien to us." She smiled. "That's why they sent me, Lieutenant. I specialize in the impossible." The shuttle ride to the Andromedan vessel was silent save for the soft hum of engines. Zara reviewed her mental notes. The Andromedians had agreed to this meeting after detecting Earth's quantum communication network. Their own civilization spanned several galaxies, making humanity's achievements seem like a child's first steps. The docking procedure was perfectly orchestrated, the alien ship's crystal walls somehow flowing like liquid to create an entrance. Zara stepped through the airlock into an environment that defied expectation. The interior was a maze of geometric patterns, each surface singing with subtle harmonics that seemed to resonate with her very bones. Her escort was waiting, a being that appeared to be carved from living diamond, its form vaguely humanoid but constantly shifting, faces and patterns emerging and dissolving across its surface. The translation matrix in her ear crackled to life. "I am Kylrix, chief resonator of cultural harmonics," the being's thoughts transformed into words in her mind. "Your presence creates new patterns in our symphony." Zara bowed slightly. "I am honored to represent Earth and humanity in this historic meeting. We hope to learn from your civilization and share our own stories in return." The crystalline being's surface rippled with what might have been curiosity. "Stories. Ah, yes, your species communicates through sequential narrative rather than harmonic resonance. Fascinating. Please follow me to the chamber of contemplation." As they moved through the ship's corridors, Zara noticed other Andromedians watching her with their faceted surfaces. Their forms were diverse, some tall and spindly, others compact and geometric, all sharing that same crystalline composition. The chamber of contemplation was a vast spherical space, its walls covered in shifting patterns that seemed to respond to their presence. Kylrix gestured for her to sit on what appeared to be a crystal formation that had grown into a chair-like shape. "We have studied your transmissions," Kylrix began, their form settling into a more stable configuration. "Your species is puzzling to us. You form bonds with non-related individuals, with artificial constructs, even with lower life forms. This seems inefficient." Zara leaned forward. "We call it family, not just those related by blood, but those we choose to love and protect. It's central to who we are as a species." "Love." The word seemed to cause ripples across Kylrix's surface. "We understand chemical pair bonding for reproduction, but your concept seems more expansive." "It is. Humans can love deeply and broadly. We form communities, friendships, chosen families. It's our greatest strength." Kylrix's form shifted rapidly, patterns cascading across their surface. "This requires further study. Would you share more of these stories?" For the next several hours, Zara told stories of human connection, of adopted children, of lifelong friendships, of pets who waited years for their owners to return, of strangers risking their lives to save others. With each tale, the patterns in the chamber shifted, as if the very ship was trying to understand. "Your species is unique in our experience," Kylrix finally said. "We reproduce through resonant splitting. Each new being carries perfect knowledge of their progenitor. The concept of learning from those unlike ourselves is alien. Yet here we are." Zara smiled. "Two very different beings, learning from each other." The patterns in the chamber suddenly intensified, and Kylrix's form became absolutely still. "Warning patterns are resonating through the ship. Our long-range sensors have detected something approaching your solar system, something that has destroyed civilizations before." Zara felt her blood run cold. "What do you mean?" "They are called the Void Hunters. They seek out emerging civilizations and harvest them for resources. We have avoided them for millennia, but your quantum communications network has drawn their attention." "How long do we have?" "Weeks, perhaps. Our civilization's policy is non-interference. We cannot help you." Zara stood, her mind racing. "Then help me understand them. Share what you know. Humanity has survived everything our planet and our own nature has thrown at us. We'll survive this too." Kylrix's surface rippled with what might have been surprise. "You face extinction, yet you show no fear." "Oh, I'm terrified," Zara laughed. "But humans have a long history of doing the impossible when we stand together. And now, perhaps, we have new friends to stand with us." The crystalline being studied her for a long moment, patterns swirling across their surface in complex configurations. "Your response is unexpected. Perhaps there is much more for us to learn from each other than we initially calculated." As Zara left the Andromedian vessel hours later, her mind was full of both wonder and worry. First contact had been successful beyond her wildest dreams, but it had come with a terrible price, the knowledge that humanity faced its greatest threat just as it had taken its first steps into the galactic community. But as she watched the crystalline ship shimmer against the stars, she smiled, because she had seen something in Kylrix's patterns, something that gave her hope. The Andromedians might not understand human connection yet, but they were curious. And in her experience, curiosity was the first step toward understanding. The real question was whether that understanding would come in time to save both their civilizations from what was coming. The holographic display in Earth's central command showed the approaching Void Hunter fleet as a mass of red dots, creeping inexorably closer to the solar system. Zara stood before the United Earth Council, Kylrix's crystalline form shimmering beside her. "The Andromedians have agreed to share their defensive technology," Zara announced. "But more importantly, they're willing to teach us." Council President Rika Tanaka leaned forward. "Why the change in policy?" Kylrix's surface rippled. "Your ambassador has shown us something we did not expect. Your species' capacity for adaptation and connection may be key to surviving the Void Hunters." Over the next weeks, humans and Andromedians worked together in ways neither species had anticipated. The crystalline beings were fascinated by human creativity, while humans marveled at Andromedian technology. But it was the personal connections that truly transformed both species. Zara found herself spending long hours with Kylrix, learning to read the subtle patterns in their crystalline form. She discovered that what seemed alien and cold actually held deep complexity and beauty. The Andromedians reproduced through resonance, but they could form harmonics with others, creating bonds of their own. "Your species changes us," Kylrix told her one evening as they watched Earth's sunset from the observation deck. "We are beginning to resonate in new ways. Is that good or bad?" "It is. Unprecedented. Some fear it. Others, like myself, find it fascinating. We have existed in perfect harmony for millennia, but perhaps we have also been stagnant. The warning sirens interrupted their conversation. The void hunters had accelerated, their fleet now visible to conventional sensors. Earth had weeks, not months. But something extraordinary was happening. The Andromedan ship's crystalline structure began incorporating human design elements, becoming more adaptable, less rigid. Meanwhile, human quantum technology evolved rapidly under Andromedan guidance. We're creating something entirely new, Zara realized. Not human, not Andromedan, but a synthesis of both. Kylrix's surface shimmered with what she now recognized as excitement. Yes, and perhaps that is what we need to face what comes. The Void Hunters struck without warning. Their ships, massive constructs of dark matter and negative space, tore through the outer system's defenses like paper. But Earth was ready. The combined human Andromedan fleet met them at Jupiter's orbit. Crystalline ships moved in perfect harmony with human vessels, their hybrid technology creating defensive patterns never before seen in the galaxy. Zara stood on the bridge of the flagship alongside Kylrix, watching the battle unfold. "They're stronger than we expected," she said grimly as another defense platform fell. "But they do not adapt," Kylrix observed. "Their patterns are fixed, predictable." The Void Hunters' strategy became clear. They were targeting communication nodes, trying to isolate and divide their opponents. It was a tactic that had worked countless times before. But they hadn't counted on human ingenuity combined with Andromedan harmony. As each quantum communication node fell, humans adapted, creating new networks, improvising with old radio technology, even using the Andromedan crystals themselves as communication relays. The battle raged for days. The combined fleet took heavy losses, but they learned from each encounter, adapting their tactics. The Void Hunters, for all their power, fought the same way they always had. The turning point came when Zara noticed something in the enemy's attack patterns. "Kylrix, look at their fleet formation. It's like a crystal structure." Kylrix's surface blazed with sudden understanding. Yes, they are locked in their patterns, unable to change. And crystals can shatter if you find the right resonance, Zara finished. What followed was either brilliant innovation or desperate madness. The Andromedan ships began broadcasting on frequencies that matched the Void Hunters' structural patterns, while human vessels maneuvered to create geometric formations that amplified the effect. The enemy fleet began to distort, their dark matter constructs unable to maintain cohesion under the assault. Ships began to break apart, their perfect patterns disrupted by the combined human Andromedan attack. But victory came at a terrible cost. The resonance affected the Andromedan ships as well, their crystalline structures straining under the frequencies they were broadcasting. One by one, they began to crack. "Kylrix, you have to withdraw." Zara shouted as she saw her friend's surface beginning to fracture. "No, we have chosen this. We have chosen family." The word sent shivers through Zara's spine. The Andromedians had learned more than just human technology. They had learned human connection, human sacrifice. In the end, the Void Hunters retreated, their remaining ships fleeing into deep space. But nearly half the Andromedan fleet had shattered, their crystalline forms scattered across space like stardust. Kylrix had survived, but barely. Their once perfect surface was now webbed with cracks, each one a testament to their sacrifice. Was it worth it? Zara asked as they watched the cleanup begin. Kylrix's damaged surface somehow managed to create patterns of joy. "We have learned what it means to be family. That makes any price worth paying. The battle was over, but its implications were just beginning to ripple through both civilizations. The Andromedians had changed irrevocably, their perfect harmony disrupted by human chaos and connection. And humanity had gained not just allies, but family among the stars. 3 months after the battle, the combined human-Andromedian rebuilding effort was transforming both civilizations. Earth's quantum networks now incorporated crystalline technology, while Andromedian ships began showing more organic, adaptable designs. Zara found Kylrix in the new Harmony Garden, a space where crystalline structures grew alongside Earth plants. Their cracked surface had healed somewhat, though the patterns would never be quite the same. "The Council has approved the Federation Charter," Zara announced. "We're officially partners now." "More than partners," Kylrix responded, their surface rippling with new patterns Zara had come to recognize as joy. "The resonance patterns between our species grow stronger each day. Did you know some of our younger ones are attempting to form harmonic bonds with human music?" The garden around them hummed with hybrid life, crystal formations that responded to touch like living things, plants that grew in impossible geometric patterns. It was neither human nor Andromedian, but something entirely new. "The Void Hunters aren't gone for good," Zara said, watching a crystalline flower unfold. "They'll be back." "And they will find us changed," Kylrix replied. "Already, 5 other species have requested to join our Federation. They see what we have created together, not just technology, but understanding." A group of human children ran past, followed by young Andromedians who had learned to shift their forms into more playful configurations. The children had no trouble communicating, having developed their own hybrid language of words and resonant patterns. "The old ones in my species are troubled," Kylrix admitted. "They say we are losing our pure harmony. Perhaps they are right. But we are gaining something else." "What's that?" "Complexity, challenge, growth." Kylrix's surface shimmered. "Love." The word still sounded strange coming from an Andromedian, but Zara understood. She'd seen it in the way Kylrix's patterns changed when helping humans, in the protective resonance they extended over the children, in their willingness to shatter their own perfect form to save others. The new Federation headquarters was nearing completion in Earth orbit, a massive structure of crystal and steel that represented both species' strengths. Ships arrived daily from across the galaxy, bringing diplomats and scientists eager to learn from this unprecedented alliance. "We're installing the new quantum crystal cores next week," Zara said. "Want to help calibrate them?" "Of course. Though I must warn you, my resonance is not what it once was." Kylrix gestured to their cracked surface. "I like your new patterns," Zara smiled. "They tell a story." "Yes." Kylrix's surface rippled with understanding. "Like your human scars, marks of survival, of sacrifice, of family." Together, they watched the sunset paint new colors across the crystal gardens, each hue creating new patterns in the hybrid landscape they had created. The future was uncertain, but they would face it together, not as separate species, but as family forged in the crucible of crisis and connection. High above, the stars seemed brighter somehow, as if reflecting the light of possibility that this new union had created. The galaxy was changing, one connection at a time. 5 years after the Void Hunter attack, the Galactic Federation had become a beacon of hope across the stars. The central chamber of Unity Station held representatives from 27 species, each bringing their own unique perspectives and abilities to the Alliance. Zara stood at the podium, Kylrix beside her, their cracked crystalline surface now inlaid with streams of quantum-enhanced human technology, a living symbol of their unprecedented partnership. The Void Hunters taught us something invaluable. Zara addressed the assembled delegates. Strength isn't found in isolation or purity. It's found in connection, in adaptation, in family. The chamber itself was a testament to this philosophy. Crystalline structures pulsed with human quantum technology, creating an environment where all species could communicate naturally. Young Andromedians moved freely among organic beings, their surfaces displaying emotional patterns they'd learned from humans. Our latest deep space sensors have detected Void Hunter activity in the Carina arm. Kylrix announced, their patterns showing concern but not fear. But we are not the same civilizations they faced before. The evidence was everywhere. Hybrid ships patrolled Federation space, combining technologies in ways that would have seemed impossible years ago. The Andromedians had learned to form emotional bonds beyond their crystalline resonance, while humans had discovered new depths to their capacity for connection. Most remarkably, other species had begun adopting aspects of both cultures. The warlike Vreen had learned to temper their aggression with Andromedian harmony. The isolationist Nexari had established their first permanent embassies after witnessing the power of human family bonds. Today, we're not just celebrating survival, Zara continued. We're celebrating transformation. Every species here has grown beyond what they thought possible. Kylrix's surface rippled with a pattern Zara now recognized as deep affection. The humans have a saying, family isn't about blood, it's about who you would bleed for. We did not understand this before. Now, it is the foundation of our future. In the station's nursery, children of various species played together, their differences forgotten in the joy of connection. Young humans learned crystalline resonance, while Andromedian offspring practiced emotional expression. It was a glimpse of a future where the lines between species blurred in the best possible ways. The Void Hunters would return. Everyone knew that. But they would face a galaxy transformed by the power of chosen family, of bonds that transcended biology and physics. They would face civilizations that had learned to change, to adapt, to love. And in the end, that would make all the difference. To family, Zara raised her glass in the Earth tradition. To family, the chamber resonated with voices and patterns, organic and crystalline, united in purpose and hope. Above them, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as if reflecting the light of countless connections spanning the galaxy, a testament to what becomes possible when humans decide your family.